Hello guys, you're watching PFS TV and today we will be doing word association regarding Budget 101. So to start it up, I'd like to introduce myself. I am your host, Sam Salaku, and here with me today is Mr. Kyle Kua for our personal finance segment. And so, hello Sir Kyle, if it's okay, kindly introduce yourself for the viewers to know more about you and your background, sir.
Sure, sure. Hey, Sam. Thanks for having me. No? And I'm also a graduate of BAA. So I graduated 2018 BAA. Also was a part of JFA. And my heart is very close to the college. And I taught for 3 semesters so far during the pandemic. And right now I am almost 5 years now in a company called PDAX, Philippine Digital Asset Exchange. And now I'm in the COO in the company.
Oh, that's great to hear, sir. If it's okay, if I may ask, you said na you were also part of JFA before. What were your roles, notable roles that you had when you were in JFA?
Sure, sure. So I remember the most notable, no, most noteworthy would be two. The first one was I was in the setup of the first ever PFS, saka second ever PFS.
Mm.
That was like
Oh, that's
our.
great. That's great.
I was in UP back then. At yung sa second one, I was the vice chair. So I was helping out the JFA team, or vice chair of the BAC, but helping out the JFA team, set up, trying to better the first time, diba?
Yeah, yeah,
But I remember all the events. Na, iba yung camaraderie, being there in person, and the whole JFA, like trying to just like 100, 200, 300 people, really just trying to
yeah.
make a very successful event, diba? And yung culminate, drinking games. It was a very
Mm.
fun time then.
Yeah, for sure. It's really fun. So actually, sir, before we officially start, is it okay if you tell us more about yourself right now and what have you been up to lately?
Sure. Siguro, more right now, I've really just focused more on going back out after the pandemic. Like
Mhm.
for me, it's already post-pandemic. I've been going out
Yeah.
more the
I think we
past
can agree with that.
months, the past 9 months.
Yeah,
I think a lot of us ganun eh. And I've
yeah,
gone back to several hobbies.
yeah.
Before I enjoyed playing parang weekly badminton or ultimate frisbee. Now I'm
Oh,
getting to do so again.
I see. So you also play Ultimate Frisbee, I suppose. Do you play it casually or do you play it competitively?
No, I used to play it competitively. I was varsity dati. And I used to, even back in UP, I'd play quite competitively. Pero
Oh, so
now, very casually na lang.
I see, I see. Maybe we can talk
True as
about
well?
that later. I actually play competitively with I don't know if you've heard of like Desai before.
Oh,
They
Pisay.
play
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, they
Nakalaro ko
play
ng Pisay at
competitive.
my time. Yeah,
Yeah, they're quite good. And right now,
yeah.
and yeah, UP Duo as well, yung mga different
Yep, yep.
orgs. Yeah.
I still play with
That's,
Lumo now, sina Luna, sina
yeah, si Anton Luna, yeah.
Yep.
Nice to hear. Nice to hear that from Sir. Nice to
Right.
hear that from you, Sir Kyle. So, other than of course our hobbies, we're here to talk about our finance and specifically Budget 101. So, siguro
Mhm.
let's get started with our finance word factory. And for this segment, we've prepared 10 budget-related words. And Sir Kyle, we will try to associate these words or phrases to we will try to associate words, phrases, or whatever comes up into your mind to the given word that we will be giving. So
Okay.
this would allow our viewers to learn more about the concepts of budgeting and personal finance. So if I may ask you, sir, are you ready?
I guess so, no? Ready as ever.
Okay, okay.
Let's see what comes up.
Okay, so siguro let's start with the first few words that we have here. So having our topic as budget 101, siguro let's start with the word budget. Okay, what comes into your mind, sir?
Cool. I guess budget. It's living within your means, diba? Like
Yeah,
finding a way to live within your means is budget.
yeah. So
And
yeah, so go ahead, sir.
uh,
If there's
if you were to ask me to explain more, diba, it's like budgeting is relevant for anyone. Like if you're a
yeah,
student, if you're like 10, a fresh grad, first job mo, you're 5 years out of college, you're a
yeah,
family, diba, you're like 30 years out of college and you're having sending your children to college na rin. It's living with whatever means you're at that state in your life. And I guess it's something that's important to have a budget, regardless of that phase in life that you're at. Yeah.
So I guess that's how you define the word budget in your own terms, I suppose. So more on that, like siguro for you personally, sir, much more personal question. How is budgeting for you?
Ooh, okay. Cool. So yeah, so I don't know, but ako, you said you're studying math, no? I really like math, really like money, even as I was a young kid. Mahilig rin ako sa math, and when I was in college, I started to think how could I start budgeting more for myself, and yung pinanggalingan ko nung like I think I was still like grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. My parents made me a passbook, diba? Like a bank account, and
Yeah.
I remember parang kinokollect ko lang yung allowance ko. Small, I think it was just like 50 pesos a day or 100 pesos a day or 80 pesos a day then. But over a span of year, from that and from mga Chinese, yung mga ampao na I would get, right? I would not spend it all. Right? And at the end of a year, of school year, like alam ko, may mga April, ano to pa, mga 7-year-old ako, 8-year-old, may mga April, pupunta ako sa bank. And I would have like maybe like 7,000, 8,000 pesos collected throughout the year from like my baon, di ba? Tapos i-deposit ko. So parang it was instilled in me very, very young, at a very young age. And when I was in mga 4th year college, what I did in terms of like applying budget talaga more seriously on myself was not building my own balance sheet then. Right? Like building a personal balance sheet where I see na, okay, if I budget myself like this, na ito yung mga income and ito yung mga income sources, expenses ko, I may be able to have this like net profit, right, or net throughout the year. And that will add to my like my balance sheet, right? So then I tried to do something like, okay, ito yung target ko by end of the year. Tapos maybe in 2 years by end of that year, ito na yung target ko. So it was also like a forecasted balance sheet of myself.
Yeah.
It was interesting, but I felt that was very helpful. Until now, I think I'm like 5-6 years out of college, I still use that every year.
I see. I think that's a very I think that's a very personal thing talaga when it comes to budgeting, which is very helpful actually. And if I may add as well, I've recently got into budgeting as well because it's kind of helpful lalo na when you notice na parang nawawalan ka na ng pera and all that stuff. Parang ano nangyari, you ask yourself, saan punta yung pera and all that stuff. It really helps na you track it, which is actually in relation to the next word from the word factory. What comes into your mind this time, sir, when we talk about spending?
Okay, right. So spending, right? I guess it's I think of the trivial happiness, yung quick happiness you get from spending. Pwede gusto mong kumain, gusto mong maglamon, gusto mong maggala with your friends, diba? Or you want to shop for new shoes, new clothes, right? It's that trivial happiness rin. But I guess yung important thing about spending is being mindful nga about it. Hindi yung the moment you feel like na-disappear yung pera mo, it's a bad thing, right? Regardless again of where you're at in your life. And so it's very important to connect spending to budgeting. Okay, diba? Kung I don't know, this like I'll give random numbers. Like let's say you get a job next time, you earn like 50K a month, and you want to save about at least 50% of that, then you only spend about 25K, right, per month. Parang ganun, like really living with your means. You can spend more when you earn more, diba? But making sure that you spend in a mindful manner.
Sorry, I understand that. From that aspect, siguro I would like to ask a much more specific question, or how should one spend given their allowance or budget? Siguro much more applicable for students, or like let's say students who doesn't have like a sustainable source of income yet. How do you think should they be spending given their allowance or budget?
So what I used to do before, and this was my tip to like, because I would talk about personal finances into like students or to like my friends na lower batches. Um, it's ano eh, I think may three parts. No? So first part is like calculate how much all your income sources are. Diba? Like kung allowance lang yan, that's one income source, and then it's easy to just project how much is it for a week, how much is it for a month. Diba? If there's more, then you just put it there. Like if you have internship that you get allowance, or if you get some other like small business that you get income streams from, ilatag nyo lang line by line. Part two is every single expense, diba? Like literally, we put food, diba? You put like let's say dorm fee.
Categorize, yeah.
Tapos for each one, ano ba lang, amount times quantity of times in a month, diba? Like let's say yung food na gala maybe once a week, so it's like 4.5 times a month, diba? So tasigay mo amount like 150. So 150 times 4.5, diba? Nasa ano yan?
I think that's around 675.
Yeah. That's talaga. So, and then you have that number there, 675. And then you look for your second item na yung expense mo, right? It could be like yung transpo, jeepney. Calculate mo lang amount times quantity per month, di ba? And then once nalatag mo natin, kaya mo comparing two figures na yun. And I think that's part 3, right? You look at those two figures. If your income is greater than your expenses and you're satisfied na you're getting some form of savings, then you're good na. But part 3 is about figuring out if that's what you want. If that's not what you want, then the solution is either of two things. One is you adjust your income.
Yeah.
So kung hindi ka pa nag-internship, maybe you think that an internship can give you added like allowance, then dadagdag ka dito, diba? Or feeling mo na baka sobrang ma-spend ako dito sa pagkain, I should reduce this by like, diba? Instead of 80 peso per meal, going ko 50 peso per meal lang.
So, yeah.
Then, mabawas, hanap ka mabawas. Until you get to that state na, okay, this is where I'm comfortable, this is where I think I'm where I should be spending at monthly or weekly, diba? And then, ganun lang. Gauge ka lang.
Speaking of gauging where you'd want it, siguro like siguro on a much more personal note, sir, how would you what were your techniques before when you were a student for distributing your budget for different expenses?
Sure. So I'm lucky enough then kahit nung college ako na I had a girlfriend in college. She is until now she's my girlfriend. From DA, and so the way I categorize things would be, parang feeling ko like 70% of my spend then was food, no? There's food for myself.
Relatable, sir.
Right. Like, kung lalo akong mahilig ka kumain, gusto ko na maginhawa, di ba? So there was like food for myself, yung normal lunch, like Econ Cafeteria or BA Cafe, or kung hindi ako magbabaon. Kasi yung multiply ko nga lang. There was food for dates, and then yung parang kinwantify ko lang yun, like, I think, like, syempre weekly lang, not too often.
Yeah.
And then, syempre, that was a bigger amount because I'd want, we go out in a different place. May ganong aspect din. And then, I was also, mga meetings, diba? Like, team head.
Team meetings. Yeah.
So, minsan kakain ka, minsan libre ka, minsan mag-coffee. So, I would put that then. No?
You put that there as well. Okay, I see.
Yeah. Or kapag nag-cheer dance practices gabi, diba? So, may konting kaya mo kumain pa ulit.
Yeah.
So, parang it was just really like structuring everything that I would spend on and seeing, shucks, kaya ko ba to or hindi, diba? With what I had as my income source then as an allowance. Yung pag-augment ko though dito sa income side, was I think the main augmenting factor was competitions. Like, hopefully if bigla kang makakuha ng windfall of money right from competitive win, so you can utilize it.
Yeah.
Ganun lang.
Right. Yes, sir. From that perspective, especially the girlfriend part as well. So